Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Somnium Files nirvanA Initiative. In the last episode, we talked to, I don't remember his name, Minecraft Steve. We talked to Minecraft Steve, and then learned about his son, and went to talk to his son, who apparently had solved the Bats 490 video. He gave us the location of a genetics lab. We talked to the director of the genetics lab, and then delved into his Somnium, where we learned that he knew of the Bats 490 video somehow. Still don't know exactly how. But we found traces of nirvanA working on his computer and making the video and uploading it at the genetics lab. So now we are somehow at the nirvanA branch talking to Tokiko, who we've never met before. So let's get right into it.
I'm the president of the Japanese nirvanA branch, Tokiko Shigure.
I apologize for visiting so late at night. I'm from the Metropolitan Police Department.
Mr. Ryuki, is it? Mamoru, my secretary, has already informed me.
I like how they're using the same guy who worked for So Sejima as her bodyguard this time.
I hear you've come to ask about Jin Furue's murder.
This is the president's office on the top floor of the building containing the Japanese branch of nirvanA, commonly known as NIS. When I synced with Chikara earlier, Tama and I saw something in his Somnium. Someone who looked like they were in NIS was making the Bats 490 video. They looked male in stature, just because of the lack of a chest, but that's not too indicative of anything. And that's why we ended up here. We came to the president's office to talk to the top level of NIS. Oh, and we apparently have to answer another question from our buddy. Hold on. Hello?
Worried about
Tama.
money?
Tama wants to know. This is a little weird. Yeah.
Yes. Talking about business.
My sales aren't increasing.
That must be tough. You want me to talk to Ryuki? I'm sure he'll buy your whole inventory.
Sure, absolutely. I have no idea what the point of that is. Absolutely none. That is probably the weirdest thing in this game. Okay. Now let's answer our question. What manja topping do you like? Pepperoncino, baby! First time I heard E. Let's try it sometime, E. Okay, crazy is up to 12 now. I guess I'm just answering weirdly to most of these questions. Mamoru, what's up? I can wink sync with Mamoru? Let's say something funny.
There, I said it.
Well, he did it.
Your badge.
That's something phony.
What is this? A vaudeville routine? That wasn't funny at all.
Vaudeville's pretty funny.
I was only hired recently. I don't know much about it, really.
Yep, you're probably not supposed to.
Yeah, but I'm also her bodyguard. I used to be a bodyguard for a certain politician until the end of last year. He was a piece of human garbage. I slugged him in the face and resigned. Then ended up here thanks to an acquaintance introducing me.
Yeah, he probably deserved it. I could just wink sync with him immediately, huh? Whooshoo! What's in your dreams, huh?
It was a heat of the moment thing, but I ended up quitting my job. I don't regret punching that scumbag, but what am I going to do now? I've got 10 children to think about.
10?
What? A job? With the conditions I requested? Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do anything, as long as it's not illegal.
Okay, well, that was an interesting wink sync. Let's look at everything else in here before we continue. The light. There's a light hanging from the ceiling. Office desk. Strange statue.
That's the nonupal X, the symbol of Nyes.
Nonupal. So 9.
Non-upal means
Lines.
consisting of 9.
Consisting of
You
9.
know how there's single, double, triple? Non-upal is the 9th.
So non-upal X means 9 X's?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Seems so.
Did you know that Nyes is derived from 9-exed lozenge?
No.
Lozenge referring to a diamond shape. In other words, Nyes means the 9 X's of the diamond.
That's interesting. What should I call this? A pond, maybe? Well, it's sure not a river. We'll go with pond for now. I would love to just have one of these in my house, but it probably costs way too much money.
Why would they make something like this indoors?
Who knows?
I don't know. It's nice to smell. Wouldn't think the maintenance on it would be very nice, though. Window. There's a big window here. We don't know where it goes. We also don't know where the water goes.
I had a very hard time finding the place. After all, Nyes is a secret organization hidden from the public.
That's a good thing Boss just happened to know someone who knew this location.
Oh, yeah?
Otherwise, we
Just
would've been
happened
out.
to, no?
Even after I got inside the building, it wasn't easy. The guards, the security gates. If I hadn't met Mamoru at the entrance, I probably wouldn't even have made it to this office.
I know about Abyss, and I know it's trustworthy. That's why I let you through to talk to the president.
Something tells me you probably won't have a job for much longer.
Anyway, I was surprised. I had heard of Nyes, the secret organization, but I thought it was just an urban legend. I can't believe it actually exists.
Yes, there has been all sorts of gossip about us. Some claim we're a secret society of Satanists, or that we have something to do with a sequence of binary code that came from space. But
Iris.
that's all nonsense. Made-up stories that become more and more embellished as they were passed on. Rumors are quite a terrifying thing. Nyes is a perfectly legitimate ideological society. Our headquarters are located in New York, with many branches in cities throughout the world. This is one such branch.
Fantastic. I'm not going to continue that line of questioning.
Considering the fact that you are here, I assume it would be pointless to hide it. Indeed. I had my subordinates create that video. BATS 490 was an ARG, just a game. But there was a high-level encryption hiding a message within. We have been seeking high IQ individuals with the capability to decode it. The purpose was to recruit them into Nyes.
So this QR video was made for the same reason?
Why post the location as the genetics lab?
I am aware of that video. I saw it on the news. However, it's completely unrelated to Nyes. I assume someone made it with the intent to imitate BATS 490.
What do you think, Tama?
Hard to say on that alone.
Judging by the way you asked that, I assume that's Jin's estimated time of death?
Well, yes.
I was in Okinawa from the night of the 8th. I had a seminar to attend on the 9th and 10th. I returned to Tokyo late last night.
I checked the logs for hotels and airports, for smartphone access points, and the security footage for each location. It's true that Tokiko was in Okinawa from the 8th to the 10th.
So she has an alibi.
As long as you presume Jin's body wasn't brought back with her from Okinawa.
That would be weird.
Do you mean the man from Horodori Institute of Genetics?
So
Yes.
you do know him. I'm actually here because of a tip I got from him.
Shikara is under arrest?
No, he was just released earlier. We didn't have enough evidence to keep him detained.
I see.
Why do you smile about that, huh?
Shikara is a former member of Nyes,
Former member.
though this was over 20 years ago. When he left us, he became an avid believer in the Order of Percent.
The fuck does that mean?
Order of Percent?
It's an organization that split off from Nyes. You could say they are a sect.
Okay. Ah, get out of my head.
The Order of Percent is a religious sect, whereas we are an ideological society. Despite our common roots, we are heading in completely different directions.
Is that a pun?
Then how did Chikara know that Nyes created BATS 490?
I wouldn't know about that. Perhaps he asked an acquaintance from Nyes.
Well, my question is still, why does the location in the Bats 490 video point to the genetics lab? I mean, that video wasn't made very long ago, right? Chikara would have been out of the group at that point.
This is a common misconception, but NICE is not a religious organization. We are a group of like-minded individuals who act together based on a certain understanding of the universe.
And that is?
The simulation theory. Have you heard of it?
Oh. Everything is a simulation and free will is a lie?
But the world is an artificial simulation of reality created by someone or something. That's the theory.
You're saying everything in this world we're living in isn't real?
You know, I have heard of quantum mechanics that everything that you see around you, including the things that you're touching right now, are not actually that shape, that color, that size, or anything like it. And it's just your eyes sending the electrical signals to your brain that allows you to decode and process it in the way that everyone else does. It's thought that it might be potentially possible that if everyone started to believe that something looked a different way, then it actually would start looking that way to our brain because we would interpret it differently. It's a very interesting theory.
Yes. It's a false world constructed with specific rules by a program. And if it is made by a program, there must by necessity be imperfections, edges, or seams. To find these seams, or to create them, is our objective.
Why would you do that?
If you tear at the seams of a cloth, it will unravel, and a hole will be created. Thusly, we will tear at the seams of the program until it is unraveled, and its people are emancipated. That is our ultimate goal.
This is gonna get crazy, isn't it?
This old hack has completely lost it.
Potentially, but we should never rule anything out without concrete evidence. Which is how religion is created, really. I mean, you can't prove or disprove there's an invisible man living in the sky that governs our every action, can you?
The intersection between the warp and weft. That's where the seam can occur.
I don't understand.
You will someday. It is a prophecy. It will be fulfilled eventually.
Well, someone's gonna have to fulfill it. Good luck with that.
What is that?
That hand symbol is very
It's
cultish.
a hand sign we use. It's meant to resemble the sign behind me.
Props to
By
the
the way,
animator for having
Would you
to
mind
fucking
if I
animate
asked you a
that.
question?
What is it?
Are you perhaps a Freyer?
Freyr?
Frey. I thought I heard that
I
somewhere
am
before.
asking the person within you.
Okay, now we're getting meta. I don't remember when we've heard the word Frey before, unfortunately.
What?
Unless it's like something that Ryuki knows that we
I
don't.
will ask you one more time. Are you a Freyer?
I have no idea. Am I a Freyer? Yeah, why not?
Hey, Yuki.
As I thought. Then you've realized this world is fictional. Am I correct?
Ryuki,
Yeah.
what's gotten into you?
I want to see what happens. That's what's gotten into
Then
me.
please tell me the nil number. If you truly are a Freya, you should know it.
Oh, interesting. This is different. Okay, well, apparently this is a place I need to come back to at some point. Let's I have no idea. I can't think of any numbers that we've learned of from anywhere. I can check the log, but I can't check anything else. I'm just gonna put in a random number. Boom! Incorrect input. No, I don't know it.
So, you don't know. In other words, you lied.
I'm a Freyer.
Good. She saw right through it. I thought that I could get her to keep talking if I faked my way through it.
Way to go.
What is a nil number? What is a Freyer? Frey. Right. I remember now.
It was
Oh, do
written
you?
on that sign.
Frey to free.
Oh, that's right.
Free can mean fight, but it can also mean to wear out or tear.
Remember what Tokiko said. Their ultimate goal is to break down this world and emancipate its people.
Miss Shigure, are you sure Nyes didn't make the QR video?
We did not.
But the word Frey was written on that sign in the QR code.
We of Nyes are only involved in Bats 490, which we created half a year ago. We are not the ones who created the QR video. The word Frey being displayed on that sign must be a coincidence.
That can't be just a coincidence.
Yeah, I agree with Ryuki on this one. Especially because it says Frey to free, which is something that you're trying to do.
Oh, but it can. After all, we are living in nothing but a simulation, a false world created by a program. And such programs always have some glitches lurking under the surface.
Okay, so basically you're manipulating the facts so that it fits your worldview. You're similar to most religions.
We call
in that
such
case.
glitches scenes. Coincidences like this are a manifestation of such glitches. Proof of imperfection. Proof of the scenes. The appearance of Jin's corpse is also likely to be an example of such phenomenon.
So basically what you're saying is that the fact that there are things that you can't explain is the whole reason for the existence of this organization. In which case, if we solve everything, and we show that there's proof behind everything and everyone's actions, we defeat you.
What?
Are you familiar with the Philadelphia experiment?
Oh no.
It's a top-secret military experiment that's said to have taken place in the American city of Philadelphia on October 28, 1943. A powerful electromagnetic wave was fired towards the USS Eldridge, a destroyer-class warship. Supposedly, the reason for doing this was to conceal the ship from showing up on radar. But as soon as the experiment began, something strange happened. The Eldridge was enshrouded in a greenish mist, then vanished. Afterward, it appeared at a military port in Norfolk, nearly 200 miles away from the shipyard in Philadelphia. Sometime later, it reappeared in its original position again.
So you're saying it teleported?
Well, it's nothing but an urban legend. Just an occult story with low credibility.
I relayed Thomas' story directly to Tokiko.
Yes, exactly. However, the story doesn't end there. When the USS Eldridge returned to Philadelphia, there were several sailors on board, but some of them had melted like a rotten banana, while others ended up with their bodies entirely burned and blackened. Others were said to have merged with the steel hull, their bodies having become a piece of the ship. Does that sound familiar?
You mean Jin? Are you saying his right half teleported here?
It isn't impossible. If a seam was torn, that is.
Impossible.
Well, already jumping off the deep end, I see. Welcome to Unuchi Koshi game. What is this? Yoyagi Park. I don't think we've ever been here before.
You like this park, don't you, Ryuki?
I feel calm when I'm around nature. It's like I can feel the buzz inside me quieting down.
What does that mean?
Tama, what do you think about
Why
what
were you
Tokiko said
silent
earlier?
about that?
Is something like teleportation really possible?
Hey, come on. I told you the Philadelphia experiment is just an urban legend.
how else can you explain what happened with Jin? We can't deny that his right half suddenly appeared out of nowhere.
Jeez. Then why don't we find out for ourselves?
What do you mean?
How would we do that?
You want to go to the studio right now?
No need. Just close your eyes.
My eyes?
Just do it!
Okay.
Damn, she pulled out the fucking stick. That was a weird way of closing the eyes. Did you notice that? How, like, the eyelids didn't close straight, they closed diagonally?
What the? Did we teleport here?
Are you serious?
We're in Studio Devita, aren't we?
It just seems that way. We're not actually there. Last night, I scanned every nook and cranny of the scene. What you're looking at now is what I replicated using that data.
That's very helpful.
Wow. It's like I'm actually there. The corpse looks so real.
Want me to put a mosaic over it?
Uncensored is fine.
Now, less digressing and more investigating. Your objective is to solve the mystery behind the sudden appearance of Jin's right half.
All right, let's start looking around.
Virtual reality activation. Well, this is new. VR allows you to walk around the scene and gather information. Thomas special vision modes such as X-ray mode can be applied to everything. By changing the special mode, what you can inspect will change. Use this to utilize this to find the hidden information. Okay. There's a seat for the quiz show contestants. Whoa. That's a lot of people. Host platform.
These aren't good for much other than for show.
Wow, I can switch to X-ray mode too.
That's because I've gathered all data from the scene.
I can see the back of the set. There are a bunch of mannequins here. That's creepy. Unfortunately, I don't think that they dressed up one of the mannequins and then put it in there.
The questions for the quiz also show up here too. Huh.
Hold mode list. So we have just normal and X-ray.
What's this?
Oh,
3 things catch my attention. First, a mixture of potassium chlorate, sulfur, and red phosphorus. This is probably a fire starter. It would ignite very easily.
huh.
The fuse is coiled up and extends from there. By the way, the fuse includes an oxidizing agent, so it can continue to burn even inside the body. And finally, at the end of the fuse is a powder mixture of iron oxide and aluminum. This is a substance that causes a thermite reaction. When ignited, it creates heat of over 3,000 degrees Celsius and burns violently.
So this is what they used to burn the body, so it was not spontaneous combustion. Oh. Let's see. What rank do you like? Bantamweight, lightweight, strawweight, or heavyweight? I like watching lightweight fighters fight. It's not light at all, E. So I gained some impish stuff there. Still a child. Oh. I'm looking at the ceiling. Because I see that the string goes up there, right? So someone that was up above had to have pulled it. It's a camera. The body was shown to the entire world through this camera.
Like I mentioned yesterday, Jin's estimated time of death is based on the time his corpse appeared. It should be about 40 hours ago. Rigor mortis seems to be fading already. It's not completely gone yet, but the body has somewhat softened at this point. It should take more time to get to this stage if it's been on a rooftop in the winter. That's why I think this corpse was kept indoors. Someplace warm.
Interesting. Rigor mortis was already fading and the body had somewhat softened.
I wonder how deep this sign is embedded.
What do we do at times like these?
Right, the X-ray. The bottom part of the signboard is stuck pretty deep in there.
There's a bit of a curve at the tip. Kind of like a man's, you know what?
Couldn't you have compared it to a fish hook or something?
Well, it won't come out easily. Whoever stuck it in probably didn't want it pulled out.
Of course not. A signboard would be useless unless it's standing.
It's useless unless it's standing?
Let's not go there.
No,
Yeah.
that's not what I meant.
I'm still trying to figure out where that... Oh. It ends up over here. I see now. So whoever flicks the lights off burns the body up. Interesting, but I can't check it, so... There's an electric
Maybe it's
kettle
for
here.
having tea during break.
Yes, I bet it is. Another camera. I check the insides of the cameras. I guess I can, but I don't see anything there. I don't see anything down there. Host platform.
Looks like it's there so the performers can check how they look on screen.
Yep. That makes sense. I feel like we've already checked everything. Yeah, I feel like I've checked everything with X-ray mode, which means there's something I haven't checked.
What's this?
I just have to check the corpse again, I
Getting a
guess.
better look at it. It looks like something tied to his waist. It's like a spider's thread. No, even thinner.
My analysis concludes that this is a CNT, or carbon nanotube. Graphene sheets with the thickness of a single carbon atom.
Wow, that's very thin.
These were rolled into a cylindrical shape to make these nanotubes. The diameter is about 0.4 nanometers. A single nanometer is 1/1000th of 1 meter, so it's not visible to the naked eye.
What? But I can see it.
That's because she scanned it.
That's because this thread is made by bundling multiple CNTs. I've also enhanced your vision so you'd be able to see it.
I was gonna say.
By the way, CNTs are extremely durable. They're elastic and hard to break, and it's said that their theoretical maximum tensile strength is 50 times that of steel. Anyway,
That's very strong.
where is the other end of the CNT connected?
Wee. Over to the light switch.
That way. Over by that red lamp.
Now I can check it.
What's this?
It's the light switch.
The CNT is tied to it.
I think that's probably it. So we have to figure out where everyone was at the time, right?
Okay, it looks like we're pretty much done investigating here. Using the clues we've gathered so far, we should be able to solve the mystery.
You mean the mystery of how Jin's body appeared? That's what you're talking about, right?
Yep.
Truth reenactment allows you to find the truth with the information you have gathered. Answer Thomas' questions with the best answer. Only by correctly answering her questions will the truth be reenacted.
Let's get on that now. First thing, about that power outage when the body appeared.
Oh, this is interesting.
Was it really just a power outage?
I was wondering about that too. The lights came back on way too quickly. Plus, if the power did go out, the stream should have cut out at the same time.
But the stream went on, no problem.
So it wasn't an outage. The lights were switched off.
So how did the lights get turned off?
Well, I think I know what did it.
Oh, really? How did the lights get turned off? I mean, the light switch?
That's the switch that powers the lighting.
Yeah, let's not overthink this. Someone simply walked up and flipped this switch.
But no one was near the switch when the lights went out. Let's try to think of something else.
Huh. Could it be that someone hit that and flipped the switch? I have no idea how the electric kettle would play into it.
The answer button by this contestant's seat is actually...
It's not a light switch.
There were bundled CMTs tied to the body. They were routed through the ceiling beams and onto the light switch.
But a dead body can't pull strings.
No, but it can fall. From the ceiling, I mean.
Now that you mention it, I thought I heard something hit the floor right after the lights went out.
I don't remember.
The body fell from the ceiling and tugged on the CMT, which caused the light switch to turn off.
So on to the next question. The corpse was hidden up in the ceiling, right? Then how did it fall?
Maybe the rigor mortis softened. Well, we know that the top one and the right one aren't it. Either the culprit dropped it from above or the rigor mortis softened. I didn't see any way to get up there, though. So I feel like it has to be the rigor mortis softened.
The culprit used the mechanism of the body softening after rigor mortis. The body must have been placed up in the ceiling like a bridge between two beams. It would stay up there while the body is still stiff. But as time passes and rigor mortis lessens, the corpse softens.
And that's what made it fall down. Now for the final question. Why did the body explode and burn?
Well, that can be explained by using the X-ray mode.
The signboard is stuck deep in the corpse. So, how did the body burn?
Maybe the signboard was a bomb.
I don't think so.
What?
Inside the corpse's fuel that
Because
goes
of
off with
contraption
even the
set up
slightest
inside
impact.
the body. The ignition agent combusted from the impact of the body hitting the ground. The fire went up the coiled fuse and onto the substance that triggered a thermite reaction. The substance was eventually ignited, causing a huge explosion.
So that interval between the fall and explosion was because of the time it took for the fire to reach the end of the fuse. I get it. It was hard to find traces of that trick because it was such an analog method.
That's 75.
All right, I think we're starting to figure things out here. So you can turn off this VR space now.
No, not yet. That was just a rehearsal. We still have the main show.
What do you mean?
We're recreating the culprit's actions.
Are you telling me to do that?
You're the only actor here, aren't you?
Actor?
Well, that kind of blows.
So, I'm Tama, the director and camera operator. Now that I'm in the director's chair, I'm not going to tolerate shoddy acting. So keep that in mind.
Are we recording
Thanks,
something?
Tama.
Of course we are. We're testing a theory here, so we need to create something that can be viewed objectively.
I have no idea what you're going on about.
Shut your stupid mouth, you third-rate bit part actor!
Wow.
Are you too much of a moron to figure this out without the director having to tell you everything?
But
Maybe a little.
Just zip it and play the culprit. If we're doing this, we're going for the Academy Award.
Macadamy? Like the nuts?
Enough! Let's get this started! Ready? Action!
Hi! I'm, the culprit who killed Jin. Now, prepare to witness an amazing show featuring this corpse.
Not only is your acting amateurish, but I don't even understand what kind of character you're trying to play here.
I am an amateur.
Well, this is just the beginning, so I'll give you a pass for now.
I did not expect this song to come back in this way.
Let's start with the positioning of the body. Where and how was it placed?
Well,
Yeah, it was placed up in the rafters. About
it was
right there.
here. The body was placed so it was hung like a bridge between two beams.
You can place it like this because it was stiff from rigor mortis. So that's how they did the light trick.
Carbon nanotubes, CNT, were tied to the body. The CNT went up the beams and extended downward onto the light switch. I've got it all set up.
Oh, skip that. CNT.
CNT is too thin to be seen with the naked eye, so no one noticed it.
Exactly.
Now I just need to wait for the rigor mortis to subside.
Hey, aren't you supposed to be in character?
Boy! I sure hope the corpse gets softer soon. It needs to be soft and squishy. Like an octopus.
This scene makes no sense. I'm cutting it out.
Thank you.
You made me do it.
And after time passed, rigor mortis began to subside.
Ugh. Flick that off. Then the body lands.
The body falls, and
Bonk.
the impact sets off the ignition agent inside it. The fire travels up the fuse line.
Soon after, a staff member turns on the lights.
Bam! A body appears, as if it teleported in out of nowhere. Sometime later, the burning fuse inside the body reaches the explosives.
And it combusts. But that doesn't really tell us who put it up there,
That
does
is the
it?
truth behind the corpse's sudden appearance and explosion.
Good work! I got some nice footage of the reenactment.
I still don't understand why the acting was necessary.
Because it's part of the UI.
It all makes sense now. That corpse didn't teleport here after all.
Of course it didn't, though the culprit obviously wanted it to seem that way.
Half of a body just suddenly appearing out of nowhere, just like the Philadelphia experiment.
God.
Someone went through all that trouble to make it look like something strange occurred.
I think they also wanted to draw as much attention as possible to that sign. All so they could spread that QR video.
But why?
The culprit must have wanted the body to fall during the live stream, right?
So they would have had to have put it up there at a specific
It would
time.
have been pointless otherwise. But could they really predict when rigor mortis would dissipate so accurately?
The culprit didn't put the corpse up on the ceiling beams while it was completely stiff. It had to have been after the body had started to soften, just slightly. That way, they could estimate that the body would fall in a few hours or so.
Well, yeah, he did have a 6-hour window for it to fall during the live stream, too. Because it was supposed to be from 6 to midnight,
The
right?
stream was scheduled for a whole 6 hours. The culprit was fine as long as the body fell sometime during that period.
But that means they would have had to have probably put it up there in the rafters sometime during the day, like the day the live stream happened, sometime during that time. So when they were getting set up for the live stream, right?
That body fell from the studio ceiling. If it fell sideways when it landed, the culprit's plans would have been ruined.
Yes, like you said, it would have been pointless unless the sign was standing erect. Just like a man's you-know-what.
Again with that joke? Besides, it is not useless when it's not erect.
Exactly.
What?
There was another purpose to the sign. It's the same reason darts and rockets have tails.
I get it. The cut surface would naturally face the ground because of that sign.
Oh.
It was meant to control the body's posture as it fell.
So it was a double-edged.
Their
sort of
goal was to
meaning.
make it seem like a supernatural phenomenon. That's why they couldn't leave the CNT on the scene.
Because it would give away the trick?
Right.
So that's why they caused a thermite reaction and destroyed the CNT.
Odd. Oh boy. Like.
So, To wrap it all up...
CNT is highly flammable carbon material. It doesn't stand a chance against 3,000 degree temperature, but it bonds with oxygen to create carbon dioxide, which helps extinguish the flame. That's so weird. What an odd chemical property.
The culprit's motive was to make this seem like a supernatural phenomenon and to spread the QR video, right?
I don't know if that's all there is to it, but probably.
I wonder why Jin was chosen.
Who knows?
Where could his left side be?
It hasn't been found yet.
Nope.
Anyway, starting our search with the people who might have the intel we need is #1 rule of investigation, right?
Like who?
Jin's right half was up in the studio ceiling the whole time we were shooting the show.
The biggest mystery about all of this is that this recollection that we're on right now is supposed to be telling us why he's in such a depressive state in the future. Ugh.
There must be someone who knew about it, or at least noticed it.
You mean... the director, Shinpei Wagai?
Right.
Where is he now?
I've tracked him down using his smartphone GPS. He's in Akihabara right now, at the Maid Cafe Sunfish Pocket.
I missed half of that. So we need to go talk to Shinpei because he should have noticed that it was up in the air, huh? Yeah, we got time. Why not? Let's go pay Shinpei a visit. Wonder which one his girlfriend is. Fortunately... oh, no, there he is.
Ah, shit!
Don't you run. Damn, why does he have a gun? Damn. Oh, we gotta shoot out at the Sunfish Pocket. Down. Whee! Maybe don't shoot at the other customers. Uh-oh. Please don't hit them. We gonna have to sync with you?
Firing your gun in here? Are you insane? There are customers and staff in here.
My bad.
An apology is not gonna cut it.
Several people have called the authorities. The local police should be here soon.
Hey, can't you just let me go?
Hell no.
What?
I told you, my girl's pregnant, right?
Then why are you trying to shoot at me? You just fucking ruined that. Why does your head look like a goddamn pumpkin, by the way?
I can't go to jail.
Then you should have thought about it.
That's why I accepted his offer in the first place.
His?
I needed money to take care of my kid. Some guy named Terror.
Oh.
I don't know his real name. Haven't seen his face or heard his voice either. All my contact with him was through Nile.
What did he ask you to do?
He said...
hello? I want to borrow your studio for an hour or so on the 10th before you start preparing for the stream. Do not let anyone near the studio during this time. That includes you. All you need to do is keep the entrance locked. That's all. I'll pay you $5 million. If everything goes well, I'll pay you on the night of the 11th. What is
So me and
today?
the staff haven't met this Terror guy at all. I don't know what happened in the studio either. I had no idea that was gonna happen.
Come to Class 3A at Sekiba. You'll get your money there.
Class 3A at Sekiba High.
Ryuki!
What?
Yeah, let's go.
That's Iris's class. The fuck? Really?
The director of Horodori Institute of Genetics, Chikara Horodori.
No way. It can't be.
Why 3A, though? Got some wild shit going on. We're at the shrine now. What a nostalgic place to be.
Mr. Date told me about this shrine. This place is so full of nature. Just like Yoyagi Park. It's just calming here.
I see.
Tama, would you mind giving me some support?
You know, Tama's made sort of like no remark. She's made a couple of pauses when he's referencing nature and being calm and things like that. There's something going on with Ryuki's mental state.
What do you mean?
I've been thinking about Chikara's murder.
Are you sure you're okay, Ryuki?
No.
What do you mean?
I feel like all of this has been taking a huge mental toll on you.
Yep.
I'm fine. More importantly, can you recreate the crime scene for me? I just need to close my eyes, right?
Yeah, but... Fine. I'll play along.
No enabling.
You are technically my master. I can't disobey your orders.
Thanks. Let's start then.
Okay, we're doing this again. Also, the way he closes his eyes, man, they're so weird.
It's perfect. It's just like the real thing.
I learned how to do 3D modeling in a correspondence course.
I wish I could do that immediately.
Back when I was a student, my grandma told me I should learn a skill set.
Who the fuck is that? Alright, time to answer another weird-ass question. How hard do I like my ramen? Soft. I like the hard ones, E. Well, you're a fucking mess, so... What's inside of this one?
I'm sorry, Ryuki. This might freak you out, but there's something I have to tell you. Will you hear me out?
What?
The thing is, this corpse is so cowardly that...
It has no guts!
What?
I know. That was so bad. The joke was over before I even said it. But I just had to do it. I mean, look, the corpse is completely missing its guts. I couldn't let this chance pass me by.
That was adorable.
Chikara's right side. The cross-section is stuck right onto the blackboard.
The reason the corpse is on the blackboard is because it doesn't have internal organs anymore. The open space inside the body has a lower pressure than the outside. It's similar to how suction cups work. That's fucked up. How would you know that? This guy has intricate knowledge of the human body, if he knows that.
What's the estimated time of death?
Based on the time the body was discovered, that would make it about 4 hours ago.
So, around 8 p.m. on February 11th. Right around the time we were meeting with Tokiko.
Looks like there aren't any other clues here.
So he was killed very shortly after he got out, after he was released from the police headquarters, is that what you're saying? Or maybe when he was at the police headquarters after we had finished syncing with him.
Well, satisfied? That's my assumption. I can't think of any other suspects.
Just who is this terror?
I wouldn't be having so much trouble if I knew that.
It
Well,
can't
they
be
do
Tokiko,
call
can
themselves
it?
they call themselves Terror, which, I mean, the way that it's pronounced and the way that it's written, that makes me think it has something to do with the fraying, right? That Tokiko spoke of.
Tokiko was with me at Chikara's time of death, and she was in Okinawa during the incident with Jin.
Yeah, at the very least, it seems unlikely that she did it personally.
But something has been bothering me. I feel like Tokiko is involved somehow. Chikara was a member of NICE, and he knew about Bats 490. That's not all. The appearance of Jin's corpse was made to seem like a paranormal phenomenon, as if the same thing from the Philadelphia experiment had happened.
After all, we are living in nothing but a simulation. A false world created by a program.
Could she have done all this to give her claim credibility?
I don't know, but it's possible.
I think he was lying about the money. Terror probably wanted someone to find Chikara's body.
You mean he wanted Chimpei to find it?
Not necessarily. It might have been for the police. Terror might have predicted that someone from the police would contact Chimpei.
Be interesting if they could quote-unquote predict that. I think there's something else.
I checked the footage, but I didn't see anyone suspicious. Of course, that place is
Not
huge,
good.
so there are plenty of areas the security cameras don't cover.
Any cameras on campus?
None. Do you remember what Gen said? The security at Sekiba High is completely lacking.
Gen said that? Must have forgotten that line.
In any case, let's go see Tokiko.
Pretty messed up.
I have to talk to her.
Understood. We've come this far. I'll back you up until you're satisfied.
Well, I guess we're going back to Tokiko. Nyom. This case is definitely weird, to put it lightly.
I've been expecting
Feels like we're
you.
being
I thought you would be arriving soon.
led on a like a horse with a carrot in front of it.
What do you mean?
I mean, I knew you would come see me.
Why did you know that?
I've solved the mystery, Miss Shigure. Jin's right half didn't teleport. It was just made to seem that way. It should have been obvious when you think about it. Teleportation? It's impossible. We live in a simulation? This is a fake world created by a program?
You know, I didn't expect you to do this first.
Impossible. Simulation theory is nothing but occult nonsense.
Okay, great way to start a conversation. Yo, hey, you stupid.
Just, I'm sure there are people who
how we
like
start
to
the
believe in
conversation.
these things. And there are groups who profit by making people believe.
Mr. Ryuki, it appears as though there's been some misunderstanding. We of NICE have nothing to do with this.
Are you sure about that? All the pieces would fit together if NICE is the one that made the QR video. The falsified paranormal phenomenon. What was written on the signboard. It all advances your agenda. Could it be that you wanted to spread the QR video by showing that sign along with the corpse on stream?
As I've told you, we are not the ones who made the QR video.
Yeah, it's up to us to prove that.
What is the purpose of the QR video in the first place?
We don't know, and that's the
Are
problem.
you saying there is some message urging people to join NICE in it? I know of the incident, of course. However...
Yes, I know you have an alibi. We were here, having a conversation during the time of Chikara Horadori's death. But that doesn't necessarily mean you're completely innocent. You are the president of NICE. Surely you have plenty of subordinates who can do your bidding.
Are you implying I ordered someone to kill him?
It's a possibility.
And what would be my motive?
Well...
Ex-member working with a different sect.
Remember what Tokiko said. Chikara Horadori is an avid believer in the Order of Percent.
Yeah.
Their order and NICE are heading in completely different directions.
Perhaps NICE and the Order of Percent are hostile.
I see. You're suggesting there was a conflict between organizations. It is true that NICE and the Order of Percent have differing beliefs. However, we are not at odds with one another. Both organizations believe in the simulation theory. In that respect, We are comrades.
Do they believe that, though?
No, I don't.
Then do you know about Terror?
I've heard that name on the news, yes. This is about the culprit, is it not?
Yes.
I have absolutely no idea who it could be. I'm sorry I can't help you, but... We are living in a simulation, a false world. And from this false world, we seek emancipation. That is what Nyes believes. On the other hand, the Order of Percent, we are living in a simulation, a false world. But they wish to remain imprisoned within it, forever.
Forever?
Mr. Ryuki, have you ever played an open-world game where you play as a criminal?
A game that lets you rob, murder, blow things up, leave a trail of debris wherever you go.
Yeah.
An absurd, heinous game where you can freely commit all sorts of horrible crimes.
I've never played anything like that, but I know what you mean.
Then you can understand. If this is a false world created by someone, then the Order of Percent believe they can do whatever they wish.
So they're just anarchists.
To them, this place is a true utopia. A dream world where they're allowed to do anything they want with no real consequences.
That's why they want to live here forever?
Exactly.
I get it. That's why Chikara was researching immortality.
In theory, using Purge, even immortality is achievable. The ultimate dream that humanity has been yearning for thousands of years. It will soon become a reality.
Well, in that case, our supposed reason for killing him, or Terror's supposed reason for killing him, might be to, like, stop him from doing that? But why?
What do you think? Isn't that wonderful?
We don't quite know what Jin Furue was doing either.
I'm aware that Chikara was very particular about immortality.
Well, if you're aware, then it's probable that the killer is also aware.
However, I will say one thing. One must not believe in eternal youth. Eternal youth is a lie.
Seem adamant about
By
that,
the way,
despite
Mr.
no
Ryuki,
evidence.
Do you remember what you said earlier? Simulation theory is nothing but occult nonsense. That is clearly false. The simulation theory is not occult. It falls within the realm of science. In fact, many esteemed scientists have given serious thought to the matter. The theory was originally proposed by a Swedish philosopher. However, the concept has been around since long ago, even as far back as the days of Plato and Zhuangzi.
That's the beginning of philosophy as we know it.
This world may be an illusion. At least, there is no way to prove it isn't an illusion.
Yeah, it's a devil's proof. It's just like religion.
There are great people throughout history who have held such ideas.
But there's no way to prove it is an illusion either, is there?
No, there is plenty of science to support it. The holographic principle, theory of relativity.
Theory of relativity, yeah.
The measurement problem in quantum theory can also be considered proof. Even light cannot escape a black hole. I'm sure you've heard this before.
Yeah, we don't know what those are.
Information is the same. It cannot escape a black hole. It's known that the amount of information trapped in this way is not derived from the volume of the black hole, but the surface area. Considering this, you can conclude that information in a three-dimensional space is stored in the boundary of its two-dimensional surface. In other words, all information stored in this universe is encoded in a single flat plane, just like a hologram. Regarding gravity and other physical processes, they can be completely accounted for through the laws of physics defined by the boundary surface. Let's take a character from an action game, for example. When that character falls, you may think he was pulled to the ground by gravity.
I see what you're doing here.
However, gravity does not actually exist in the game world. Only code that was written in the program. The character's body is merely made to show as if it fell based on its code.
You think this world is the same?
The holographic principle is not a theory. It is a principle. It has already been mathematically proven.
Gotcha. That's a nice watch? Are we sizing her up for a pickpocket?
I see.
In Kyoto, people say you have a nice watch as a way to say, can we stop talking already? Oh, I didn't know that. By making someone look at their watch, they'll see how much time they've spent to prompt them to ask them to wrap up the conversation. Tokiko doesn't have a watch, so she must have been really annoyed when she heard this.
Then let us leave it at that.
Pfft, I didn't know that was what that was gonna do. Come
In any
on.
case, there is no denying that the simulation theory is true.
That sucks. I'm disappointed now.
But unlike Chikara, I have no interest in the concept of immortality, because my objective is to tear at the seams of this world and emancipate us all.
So you mean dying?
No. Death and emancipation are completely different. I have no desire to commit suicide, though I would be fine with dying at any time.
Because this world isn't real.
There is that, yes. However, there is another reason.
Oh boy.
If I wish to do so, I can resurrect myself.
Okay.
We are living in a false world created by a program. Therefore, if we can rewrite its code, we can create miracles. Like reincarnation.
Oh god,
or even
what is happening to your eyes and your
bringing
face?
someone who has already passed back to life.
Has this woman lost it? Ryuki, you were right. There's clearly a lot of reasons to be suspicious of Tokiko.
Yeah. Let's check with Wingsync.
Why? Can we not? Fine.
I saw everything. If you don't do as I say, I'm sure you know where this is going.
What is this?
Looks like Tokiko is blackmailing someone.
That's a crime.
What is it she saw?
I don't know. This is as far as we can get through Wingsync.
Then...
Yes, let's get a deeper look into her mind, using a regular sync.
Oh boy. I can tell that this is probably going to be a ridiculous amount of branching paths coming up here. But you know what? We just did a sync in the last episode, so we're going to leave it at that for this episode before we just jump into the sync. And next time, oh boy, we are going to be going into
Ryuki,
Tokiko's
just to confirm, you
mind.
did get permission, right?
I sure hope so, Pewter, but regardless, we're going to be diving into this mind. And this might be the reason why Ryuki goes crazy. We'll see, though. Thank you guys very much for watching, and in the next episode, down the rabbit hole we go! Bye-bye.